Welcome to the city of Miami. As mayors, we know how homelessness affects our cities. And I have heard from many of you how challenging a problem this has become. I want to tell you about the Community Partnership for Homeless, an innovative approach that deals with the root problems of homelessness through a continuum of care that helps homeless people return to mainstream society. There's a lot of reasons why people become homeless.
People didn't want to pay you what you were worth, $5 an hour under minimum wage, and I can't live like that.
Mi esposo intentó matarme 3 veces, pues tomé la decisión de ir a un shelter.
I paid my rent up where I was staying. 3 days later, the lady told me to leave her premises. She had a 12-year-old girl. And we had to leave everything we owned in that apartment. We left everything. We had nothing.
When my parents died, I almost died myself, you know.
Me and the children's father split up. They didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Job loss because they couldn't pay their rent, and the list goes on.
We saw this sea of homeless people on the streets of our community, and there was no plan, there was no leadership, there was no ownership, and there was no money.
The traditional homeless facility is, you come in, you get something to eat, maybe a place to sleep, and you're out of there in the morning. That is not solving the problem.
We've come to understand that no one level of government, no one sector can get the job done on homelessness alone.
CPH is exactly what it says. It is a public and private partnership. It has essential elements that can only be done by government, and it has essential elements that really, as a practical matter, can only be done by the private sector.
Thanks to the leadership of Alva Chapman and others, we're able to obtain approval for a dedicated funding source for homelessness.
We were one of the first communities in the United States to actually tax ourselves a penny so that we can get more money to deal with this problem.
Basically levies a tax on restaurants that are in Miami-Dade County that have $400,000 in revenue and a liquor license.
The nice thing about the tax is it's really not noticed on a restaurant bill when you leave.
There's a third sector, the citizen sector, where I work, where the foundation support has been invaluable as well. It's a three-legged stool, and without any one of those, it wouldn't work.
One of the first things that they showed me or taught me was how to restore my dignity.
Having that respect for yourself is that first building block to working towards getting your life back on track.
We didn't want to house our residents in just a big block of structure.
You want to do a program like this not to shelter or store people. You want to build a place like this to integrate people back into society and give them hope.
Having a lot of natural light, having a lot of open space, and having friendly shapes. If you would ask a little child to draw a house, they would draw that basic shape of the house. Well, that basic shape is reflected in all the architecture around here.
Our program here at Community Partnership is a one-stop shopping center.
It's essential that all of our partners are here at our facility under one roof. The Veterans Affairs Office, the Department of Children and Families,
Social Security, Dade County Public Schools, the Homeless Trust, the list goes on and on.
We provide the primary care to the residents while they live here. Everyone is assessed initially to make sure there's no acute infectious or medical issues, as well as offer them the opportunity for complete physical and deal with their acute and chronic problems while they're residing here.
I'm just part of a small community here that provides many levels of care. We have a mobile dental van that consists of 2 operatories with state-of-the-art equipment. When you first see us, your self-esteem is not there.
thus far, in the first 3 years or so, we've had more than 22,000 dental procedures.
And we hand them a mirror. Change is so drastic. You can see the appreciation in their eyes, and you can see the motivation there.
When I got here, things started happening for me when I was able to get things going.
They're assigned a case manager, and that case manager will sit down with each individual and map out a strategy for them to move to the next step.
We have housing specialists and employment specialists.
They guide you. They tell you to go to this place and this place, and you get yourself a job.
Ellos me ayudaron con el tema económicamente para poder conseguir mi apartamento, me ayudaron con muebles.
Getting back into the workforce, they can go to school, they can point them in the right direction. That'll help people with all these things.
GED, adult basic education, English as a second language. In other words, to best prepare everyone that we can to find the kind of job that will move them forward.
And if you can imagine, many of the children who are homeless have been out of school for long periods of time. We have a representative here from Dade County Public Schools. We could make arrangements to get those children in school within 24 hours.
They have a resource center there for kids, and they had an after-school program that she attended. They taught her very well, and she kept that and kept going and going.
So it's not just about receiving homeless people and feeding them for a night. It's about a continuum of care.
We've imposed 60 days on ourselves to try and case manage a person to the next step, whatever that might be. The average stay is about 47 days.
After 60 days, we want to know how we're doing with the plan, but there have been mothers and fathers with 9 children and number 10 on the way. That's not a 47-day stay. We want to see them through so when they leave here, they never have to live on the streets ever again.
I was lost for a minute. CBH, they stood by me. They stood by me very good.
Since we opened our doors in 1995, we've served our 2 centers 67,000 people who were on the streets. And out of that number, we have had a successful rate of 61%.
More than 30% of those who are being outplaced are going to affordable, unsubsidized, market rate housing.
We have reduced our homeless population by 83%.
Our actions have spoken more than our words.
The homeless population hasn't been just warehoused or hidden or put away. They have been rehabilitated. They have been given a chance.
We decided we really needed to tell the world about a model that actually works, that actually reduces homelessness. And so we went out and hired the major business consultant in the United States, McKinsey & Company.
The community partnership for homeless is a truly unique model. It's probably twice as expensive as what you're going to see for an emergency shelter. It's probably $50 a person for a night. But when you compare this versus an $80 a night for a person in jail, $1,630 to go into an emergency room, which on average they do 8 times a year, the cost here is quite a savings for the community in general.
They helped me. They pushed me. Trust me, they pushed me. They gave me hope, and I'm going to keep that hope. Now my daughter have a future called a CPH. She want to be a lawyer, she tells me. That's what she tells me.
I got this Bank of America. I got some money in there, you know. Yeah, better in the bank than in your pocket walking around here. Somebody might crack you over the head and take it.
CPAs helped me a lot. They gave me an opportunity to help establish myself in the community, gave me a roof and shelter and clothes, and they worked very, very close with me so I can get back on the right track.
Mi nombre es Iván Ochoa y trabajo en la carnicería del supermarket Price Choice.
I don't consider myself a homeless because I don't live out in the street. I live here. I'm a working man.
My name is Cherry Barfield. I'm a buffet cook at the Marriott on Biscayne Bay, and I love my job.
I was the top salesperson for the Lyman Corporation. No one had ever made more money than me in sales. My name is Dean Rowland, and I'm the sales manager at Kinlan Mitsubishi.
I'll be moving out here in the next week or so. I've already got my apartment lined up, been working a couple of weeks, making pretty good money.
My name is Desmond Meade. Now I'm on my way to Harvard Law School.
Well, we've come a long way, and God's been kind to us, and prayers have been answered. But this job isn't done yet. There's a lot more to do.
2 HUD secretaries have come here from different administrations, and they've both indicated that the community partnership is a model program, and it's a program that needs to be replicated in our country.
We strongly believe that other communities would benefit by making this smaller investment in addressing the problem, getting people off the street into permanent housing, and saving on social services other ways.
What we're doing is something that's different, and it's something that should be replicated in other cities throughout the nation.